Hello. Good day, everybody. Adelola Shokoya here. It's good to be back again to look at the markets. Like I always say, I love to look at how the market closes over the weekend. It kind of give me a very good perspective of what to expect the following week. All right, so let's get into it. So on Friday we have NFP, and man, this is one of the worst non-farm payroll report that we've seen in I think since 2020. Uh, I mean the July report, the one they released on Friday, which was August 1st, that was the report for July. So I mean it was one of the worst report, which is this one, the 73,000. In fact, they had to review the one for June back to 14,000. And we saw the market react aggressively to it because even from the one for May, they reviewed the one for May, June, and July, uh, which put the thing at the negative of 250,000, which is huge. And we actually saw the reaction by the market. I mean, we all thought that the dollar is recovering, but that's negative report for the past 3 months. That was July, June, and May. You know, saw that major reaction. As you can see, this pullback on Friday. Yeah, and I feel going forward, when the market opens, we should see further downside for the dollar. If you notice what happened after that report came out, was that if you look at that means we'll be battling. That means the dollar now it will be battling with price around 99.9, because this becomes a major resistance. So I'm expecting price to keep pushing down a little bit, probably to come and test support at around 97. If that breaks, we might test support again around 96. But going forward this week, I expect the dollar to pull back, to the downside because of that report. And one of the major reasons why we had that report that bad, was because of the tariff. I think August 1st was when the tariff by the United States president, go into full effect. I will consider the report. As a matter of fact, in the next FOMC meeting, we had FOMC meeting on Wednesday where the Federal Reserve kept the rate the same. So saying that the economy is doing very well. But with this job report, we are likely to see a major um, rate cut in the September FOMC meeting. So having said that, I don't know why, but for Bitcoin, however, I was expecting price to keep shooting up, after that report. But then since then we came down from around, I think it was around 118,000. Now we are sitting on the supports at around 111,000 now, but price is pushing back to 114 and it's ranging around that area. What normally happens is that anytime the Federal Reserve cuts rate, what that means is that people can borrow money at a lower interest rate, and as such, speculative market like the crypto market, like the stock market, S&P 500, Nasdaq, and every other speculative market, we begin to see tremendous growth because now people can easily have access to funds, to money, and borrow from the bank. All right. So but we saw the gold. We actually saw gold react. Pardon me. We saw gold actually react the way it ought to. I expect the dollar to. I expect the Bitcoin to do the same. But like I mentioned, there was massive sell-off for Bitcoin on Friday, but for gold actually reacted the way it ought to react because that means people are dumping the dollar to jump into a safe haven asset like gold. Why? Because it's better to put your money in gold than to live in paper money. That's what it means. And if from the report I'm seeing from this particular report, if the Federal Reserve cut interest rates by in September, we will see a major run up for gold. We actually see a major run up for gold to around this zone. So we saw gold bounce off around this support at $3,282, and it's pushing to the upside. I expect this push to continue for the week going forward. let's look at what pounds Euro USD did as well. I mean, every other pair, every other dollar denominated pair actually responded the way they ought to. We saw this major crash on Monday, and this crash was a premise on the fact that the United States signed a treaty with the European Union. And then in fact, a lot of people are saying that deal was majorly at the detriment of the European Union. If you look at the the makeup of that deal, it doesn't really make sense at all for the European Union. And so we saw a massive sell-off from Monday till Wednesday. However, on Friday, when we had that report, that's negative for the Northern payroll. We saw how reacted to that fact. So I'm expecting a further push to the upside for the euro, probably to around this axis to come and test this area around 1.17. If you couldn't break, we might have something that looks like this, and then price keeps going back to the downside. But however, if by September the Federal Reserve actually cut rates, because the report on Friday is a major report. You can see that I've been talking about it for the past couple of minutes. It's actually a major report has already started causing panic. People are panicking already. So obviously by September they cut rates, we might see price blow off this resistance and keep pushing it the upside. So having said that, for me, I will be waiting to see price pullback for Euro USD probably this week. To see immediately the market opens in the next couple of hours, I'll look for opportunity to join this buy move, all right, to see price pull back and then join that buy move. Same thing with pounds USD. If you check what is happening in pounds USD, we saw that major bounce off from that support. Immediately that news report came out. Like I always say on this channel, the dollar is king, right? Dollar is king. So you want to pay attention to whatever the dollar is doing. This week we saw price broke out from this trend line that I've had there for some time. I think I took some sell up to this point before I came out of that market, and now we are pulling back. For pounds USD, however, is still bearish until I see price break back into the zone. We've seen a break of structure. This is head and shoulder. We have an head and shoulder. If you look at this zone, see what is called an head and shoulder, right? So this is the head and these are the two shoulders, and then we have the neckline. So price actually broke this neckline, so which signified, which also coincide with this major trend line on the daily time frame. So what that tells you is that price is bearish for pounds USD, especially after we have this break of structure that coincide with the neckline. All right. Technically, however, what I expect technically, if you want to look at it technically, what I expect price to do normally is for price to come test this neckline and then continue to that side. That's technically speaking. However, because of the fundamentals surrounding the United States dollar, the dollar especially, and the fact that the probability of Federal Reserve cutting interest rates has gone up to 83%. Before that report on Friday, the probability of them cutting interest rate was around 40%. People weren't so sure. But immediately after that report, the percentage jumped up to 83%. Which tells you that the likelihood of them cutting interest rate is very, very high. And if they do call interest rate, so the question is, by how many points will they cut the rate? Okay, so and because the president of the United States, Donald Trump, has been advocating for major cut, if you see a 1% basis point cut, I mean, dollar is really going to crash. We are likely to see all pounds break back into the zone and continue to the upside. We are likely to see that. So I'll keep my eyes on this. And then I will be updating the group. However, if you have not joined my Telegram group, there's a link below. Right now, we are still doing free signals. We will launch our VIP very soon, and the signals have been superb. If you have not joined, it's a free Telegram group. It costs you nothing. So you see the Telegram link somewhere in the description. You can join us. All right. So let's look at the JPYs. As you can see, because of that news, we had USD JPY pullback. I mean, it's been bullish for some weeks, but we saw this pullback. All right. So this week, I expect this pullback to continue, this sell-off to continue. We might have something that looks like this, and the price, come and test 142. All right. So same thing with EURUJPY. EURUJPY visually pull back. I think I posted this in the Telegram channel. This sell. I posted it on Monday. I think I rolled it up to this point before I come out of this trade. All right. For pounds JPY as well, we saw that major pullback. I mean, this is a major pullback because of that news. All right. So I want us to check one more pair. I want us to check the Nasdaq 100 also is pulling back. All right. We saw the Nasdaq 100 print 88 all-time high last week before we had a major news and price pullback. All right. So going forward, I will be really keeping my eyes on the dollar. Like I said, the major thing that we're going to see going forward is the decision of the Federal Reserve by next month, because everything now hangs on that, whatever the Federal Reserve is going to do. And it's obvious, they have no choice at this point that to cut interest rate, so that they can support manufacturing companies and other companies that needs to hire more people. If you also notice, lastly, before I call it today, you notice that let me see if I can quickly do this, because I don't want this video to be too long. The unemployment rate, for July went up to 4.2%. The previous report, that's in June, was 4.1%. So it ticked up by just 1%. All right. Like I said, if you have not joined our Telegram group, make sure you do so. Also, if you are not subscribed to my channel, ensure you do so. All right. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.